gets going. Cool. Hi everyone, TigerHawk T3 here, and today I'm going to demonstrate the calendar module in Python. That's what we're doing. Calendar, not to be confused with datetime. Datetime is for working with specific dates and doing analysis and arithmetic on them. Calendar displays those dates and formats them, collects them and stuff. So the calendar module actually uses the datetime module to do stuff. So let's do things. Import calendar. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Now there's a calendar class in calendar. Calendar.calendar. By default, calendars start with the first day of the week being Monday. I don't want that. So I'm going to say first weekday equals 6. Because Monday is 0. And Sunday, the last day, is 6. So we're going to say that's the first day now. Cool. Let's look at the methods in here. What have we got? Iter weekdays. Cal.iter weekdays. What does this do? A generator object. Okay. For I in this, print I. What do we got? 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what that does. It prints the days of the week by their ID, kind of, in the list. And we said to start with day 6, Sunday. So that's what we've got. So let's do iter month dates, with year being about 2016, and month being I don't know, 7. That's this one. Enter. Wow, lots of stuff. So we get returns days as datetime.date objects. So we scroll a bit here. Next, I should be able to just do next on this. That's the first one. Next this, etc. Because if the method name starts with iter, it's a good bet that it's already an iterator, so we don't need to send it to the built-in iter function, this thing. So we call next on that, and that gets the next element from that iterator. And since we haven't saved that to anything, and we just call the method and say next, that'll get basically the starting with the first one. If we wanted to get subsequent ones, we would have to save it with like c equals cal.iter month dates 2016-7, and then we could do next c, and then next c again. That's how that works. So it is a datetime.date, not a datetime.datetime. Datetime.date 2016 6/26, and in standard calendar format, it does it has like an entire block for that, for that month, and since months don't necessarily start on Sunday and end on Saturday, there could be like days from the previous month starting out, and then it starts the actual month and goes across, and then at the end of the month there might be a couple days from the next month. And so if we look at this, we see that indeed the month was 7 that we specified, and it started with 6/26 to 6/30, and then it gave us July, and so on. And then we got August. So that's a full, a full square. Iter month days too. I'm not fond of naming methods like this. There's also an iter month days. Why isn't iter month days shown before? Because 2 is first. Because, of course. So there's an iter month days that takes a year and a month and returns an iterator for the month in the year, similar to iter month days. Iter month dates, sorry. Days returned will simply be day numbers. So let's see what we get out of here. 0. So we should get 0 through 6 a bunch of times. Zero, 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 zero. That's odd. Returned an iterator. A day number and a weekday number. Oh, days returned will simply be day numbers. An iterator for the month. So I suppose it's days of the month. So let's scroll up a bit here so we can see there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days before this month and 6 days included afterward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So days from the previous month that are just kind of included in there to form a rectangle are 0. And then we have 1 through, 31. And then we have the 6 days afterward. Looks good. Now let's do iter month days 2. This is I don't think that's very good to do. And my guess is that the iter prefix before all these is left over from the Python 2 days, where you might expect something that returns a data structure to be a list instead of an iterator or generator. So there's things in, for example, the itertools module. For Python 2, there's something called ziplongest, which is very similar to the built-in zip function, only if there are elements that don't have a match, if all of the iterables that you're going over don't have the same number of elements, instead of kind of truncating to whatever the shortest one is, it will add some kind of fill value. So there's ziplongest, and that returns a list, I believe. And there's also iziplongest, which returns an iterator. For Python 3, you can call ziplongest, and it will return an iterator. You can call iziplongest, and you will get an error because it was removed. So month days 2. Let's see what that does. So we have the day, which is 0, and the day of the week, starting with Sunday, right? Because Sunday is the first day at the start on the left. That's what we specified. 0, 6, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we start with, here's the first day of the month of July that we wanted. And it, continues as you might expect. And there we go. Very handy. Month dates calendar. These are very wordy method names. could be shorter, like taking out iter, or more descriptive, like month days and month days 2. Month tuples? Day week tuple? I don't know. It feels like they should have done something different. Calendar, and of course there's a month days calendar and a month days 2 calendar. Cool. Cal dot month days calendar 2016 7, and we get this thing. Alright, and this print I. That's what we've got. And so that's each week. We have days from the previous month, and the first day of July, and the second, and this is this one here is Saturday. And here we have Sunday again, and so on and so forth, and these are just the days of the week. Very calendar-like. 31, and then we have that. Very good. Now, how about month days 2? Month days 2 calendar. Now we have tuples, similar to what we got before. 0 and 6, 0 and 0. So we have the day of the month and the day of the week. Okay. This module is cool so far. How about month dates calendar? What does this do? Return a list of the weeks in the month of the year as full weeks. Oh, lists of 7 datetime.date objects. Oh, this could be big. Yeah. So instead of 0, for example, we have datetime.date of this. So when you print a list, it prints, let me show you something. L equals A, B, C. Okay, let's print L. This is the string representation of the list. Now, a string representation of the list is to have an opening square bracket at the start and a closing square bracket at the end, with each element separated by a comma and a space. And each element is shown in its repro form. So if I wanted to get the string A, if I wanted to get, each of these elements, I would type a quote and then A and then another quote, because that's how you get the A variable. Now, what if I did print star L? This unpacks the list and sends each element to print. What do we get there? Notice how now there are no brackets, because we're never actually printing a list. We're printing each element in the list. And the default separator is a space. And notice how there are no quotes either. That's because it's printing the string representation. So with this, we have the string representation of a list, which contains the repro of its elements. And like this, we are printing the string representation of each element. So what we're going to do, we did this, and it produced lists with the repro of everything. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to unpack these lists into each of their constituent elements, and send each of those elements as an argument to print. Now, how about that? How readable is that? Not very much is cut off. There's more over here. But importantly, we have, this date, and then that date, and then that date. And then keep in mind this is, we're not printing these strings, we're printing the string representation of dates. So this is what the date looks like. Would be useful if we were doing calendar stuff. Month dates, year dates. Return the data for the specified year ready for formatting. I see. The return value is a list of month rows. Each month row contains up to width months, defaulting to 3. Each month contains between 4 and 6 weeks, and each week contains 1 to 7 days. Okay, days are datetime.date objects. Alrighty. So, let's do, instead of month dates calendar, we're going to do year dates calendar. And we're going to specify just the year, because it's all the months in that year. And I'm going to do width equals 2 instead of the standard January, February, March, April, May, June. Indeed. Can't say we didn't expect that. So let's scroll up a bunch and see what we've got. So we've got a list for this month, I guess. We've got the start of a list, and here's a day, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here is, oh, you can't see it. Well, here as well is each week. So we've got a list. Let's scroll past there, pretend it didn't happen. There we go. Very pretty. Instead of doing this, I'm not super sure, is it just by week? I think it's just a list of weeks, isn't it? For week in I, print unpack the week. Goodness. Gracious me. Okay, maybe it's by month. That seems incorrect. For I in this, for week in I, print week. So let's do the following. For month in this, for week in month, let's just say print week. This stuff again. Month in this, for week and month. Okay, maybe one more level. How about 2? For day in week, print day. Very large. Let's unpack that as well. All right. Here we go. Here's one day, and that's from 2015, the previous year. And this is like at the top of a calendar. In January, there's going to be a few days from December, the previous month. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's good. Sunday, the 27th of December, to Saturday, the 2nd of January. Here's New Year's. Then we have the next week. And why am I calling it a day? This is actually a week. let's do let's find the length of this. It is 6. So there are 6. Oh, because there's like groups or something. Oh yeah, a list of month rows. Right. So this is for row. And this. And then for month in row. That's why. For week in month. Print. Expand the week. Alright. And that's the same thing. I just have the correct names for stuff now because it's a row of 2 months at a time. And here we are. Here's week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's going to take a while. 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31. That's probably 52 weeks-ish. Yeah. End of 2016. Great. So there we have, what method is this? Year dates calendar. Great. We also have year days calendar. Entries in the week lists are day numbers, similar to month days calendar, and there's also year days 2 calendar. Maybe those could have been rolled into the same method with maybe an argument, because this is kind of XML-like. There's a different different method or attribute for everything. XML is basically instead of saying do this with these parameters, you say do this, and you say this parameter is true. So each parameter has its own parameter, and you set it to true or false. Like if you were doing print, for example, print in XML, instead of looking like print ABC sep equals space end equals new line, right? That's kind of the default, and there's file equals none, flush equals true. These are things. It would look like print, and then on the next line. But I don't want to do that because it'll be a gigantic syntax error and it will stop me before I finish. It'll be like, no, what are you doing? You stop. You're drunk. Go home. Print. Text would be text equals maybe over here. Yeah, here we go. So there would be a new line. Would it? No. XML is an interesting specification language. Let's see if I can remember some XML and pretend to write fake XML. Let's see if I can do that. We would have this as a group, and then we would say text is text equals double quotes and ABC, and then maybe a self-closing tag, and then we'd have another line with sep equals a space, And each of these is its own tag, and we would have end equals new line, etc. It'd be very large. Is my point. Anyway, so maybe they could have done instead of month dates, month days, and month days too, and they all say calendar. Is that really necessary? So we have month dates, month days, month days too, and there's year and year days and year days too, or year dates. Sorry. So there could have been a method just called calendar, and with the lowercase. Yeah. So we would have something like, for example, cal dot calendar, and I would say length equals year, year, like that. Maybe format equals, and then I could have day, or tuple, or date. And let's put year equals 2016, month optional equals, 7, and that's what that would be. And we would have a single method, because these really seem like they're just all these methods seem like they do pretty much a similar thing, except days and days too is basically I want the day of the month or year, or I want the day number and the week number, day number and weekday number. So do you just want the day number, or do you want the day and the weekday? That seems like it could be, or we could just have, yeah, no, we want that. So for year days calendar, we could do year equals this, and we wouldn't need to include a month. It would be ignored if the length is year. Actually, that's not even necessary. If we don't include a month, just assume it's the whole year. Fantastic. Then format equals date. And this would be year dates calendar. And if we wanted year days calendar, it would be day. And if we wanted year days to calendar, it would be weekday, or tuple, or something. I don't know, or just two. I really don't care. It could be anything. But a whole bunch of very similar method names. I don't know. I'm liking the utility of this module. It's just the naming conventions seem, the structure and naming seem a little outdated. Outdated. Oh, there's people in chat. When did that happen? Hello, people in chat. At 10:47, 10 minutes ago, and just now. I'm coding, Leo Phoenix asks, what are you coding? What I am coding is nothing. I'm just going through the calendar module, that's all. And Gabe Arthur just now says hi. Hi. I'm looking at the calendar module. It's interesting so far. and we are checking it out. We're going to make a new object now, and that will be calendar.text calendar with first weekday equals 6. Great. This class can be used to generate plain text calendars. That's from the documentation. Sounds good to me. Cal.format month. What does this do? What am I doing? Return the calendar in a multi-line string with number of lines. Let's just do it with a year and a month. 2016 7. What's gonna happen when I press enter? Let's find out. This. Okay, not fantastic. Let's print that. Notice how we have, like, starting with the quote and a new line. Not necessarily what we want, so we're gonna print that, because this is the when you just have something returned to the top level in the interactive interpreter, it prints the repro of it. We want to actually print it. The string representation. How cool is that? That's a calendar. Neat. Now let's do, there's a PR month also. It says just print a month's calendar as returned by format month. So is this what I think it is? Wow. It just automatically prints it. I'm not sure what I think of that. Did we really need another method? And there's a format year, of course, and a print year. Of course. Because, of course there is. Not sure why there are 4 methods for this. Could have just been PR equals true if you want it to print automatically. Like a whole different method just to say and print it. Like, why? I don't know, man. Let's print the year. Don't need to specify a month for that. Doesn't make sense. Wow, cool. How far does it go? This far. There's a Saturday that's clipped by the thing. Sorry. But that's 2016, and here we have calendar. It's the calendar module. That's what it does, and it's doing it correctly. So that's I don't think we can ask any more of this little function. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And PR year that just oh, this is what we have. That's what we did. And there's also a format year, which we don't need, really, if we just want to print it. That should have been print equals true, or PR equals true, I don't know. And PR month, per month, per year, shouldn't it have been print year or print month with an underscore between the words? Calendar.html calendar. Let's just make a new object. Calendar.html calendar. First weekday equals 6. All right. Return a year's calendar as a complete HTML page. Wow. So this this class has 3 methods. There's format month, which does same as the text calendar but for HTML. Format year, same thing again, and format year page makes a complete HTML page. That's neato. Let's do the following. Let's do exactly that. cal.formatYearPage. The year, let's say 2016, and there's a width for how many months to display on a row. CSS equals calendar.css. CSS is the name for the cascading style sheet to be used. Oh, none can be passed if no style sheet should be used. Okay. CSS equals none. Now calendar.css is the default. So I guess if you just use the default value and don't have a CSS file for the appearance of your page, it'll not work very well, presumably. Encoding equals none. That's fine. Now let's do with open something right as f.right. Let's call it output. I like to call, when I'm in write mode, I call it output. So let's do that. With this as output, and what is the name gonna be? C users Tigerhawk T3 desktop. Just pop on the desktop. No. Don't do that. Yeah. Oh, permission denied. Oh, because there's no name. I need I want to put a backslash over there, not press the enter key quite yet. Let's call it cal.html as output. Okay. Output.write, and let's do cal.formatYearPage 2016. There's no format month page, I notice. They should add another method. CSS equals none. And write that. And let's see if that works. Oh, it's writing bytes. Okay. So let's write bytes. Fine. See if I care. And then it wrote this number that it spit out. The write method of file objects returns the number of bytes that were written. So it's 15K. Alright. Let's see if I can turn on. Don't I have Chrome somewhere here? Goodness gracious. I don't. Okay. Chrome. Alright. Let's turn that off for the moment. But, cool. I'm going to, this wrote a file on my desktop. So now I'm going to drag it into this window and it will open it. And I will show you what happened. This happened. Let's make that a little bigger. Alright. This is what occurred. And that's just a page. See? Just calendar on the desktop. That's cool. So if you wanted to do this for some reason that I'm not familiar with, you totally could. I don't know what the benefit is of creating an entire page, unless you just literally want this output for some reason. Because ordinarily you put other stuff in a page instead of having a page with just, I don't know. But let's look at the view page source. Goodness. So look at all this. Look at what we got. We have, this is good, declaring, you know, the doc type and whatnot. HTML head, content type, blah blah blah. Here's a title. Oh, that's cool. And notice we have a calendar for 2016. Creates a table in the body with no border, no cell padding, no cell spacing. This is all stuff that we would ideally specify in the CSS. Column span, blah blah blah. And it continues lots. So there we go. We just have, you know, tables with table elements and table headings, and that's it. It's very straightforward and non-messy. I approve. I approve of this. Cool. What else am I doing? So there's also a format year and a format month. Instead of a complete HTML page with the year with like HTML tag, etc., it's just the table for the month or the whole year that you want. I don't think there's a need to see those because they're going to be very large if I just dump them out on the console. Let's see, what else have we got? Oh, there's a module level stuff. Let's delete cal and calendar.set first weekday is 6. Let's see if this does what I think it does. And now the first thing that we entered pretty much was, oh, that's as far as we go, huh? Then let's just look in the list. Let's do iter weekdays. Cal equals calendar dot calendar, and let's not specify a weekday here. Cal dot iter weekdays, and we need to do this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not really what I wanted. Not what I was expecting, I gotta say. So let's try this now. Nope. Starts at 0. I don't see what the purpose of this is. Sets the weekday to start each week. Calendar.Sunday. This is a module level constant. This is just a bunch of constants that are defined at the top of the module. That is 6. That's just the number 6, so I could use 6 if I wanted. I don't know why this doesn't do anything. I set the weekday, then I made a calendar. Maybe I have to make the calendar first. Where's my cal equals something? Cal equals something. And then print this. And then set the first weekday as 6. And print it, and it doesn't change a single thing. Why does it do that? What is the point? Sets the weekday. Maybe it's maybe I have to do cal dot set first weekday. Maybe this is on, maybe this isn't module level. The module provides the following functions. Let's do, dot first weekday. 6. So it is 6. Returns the current setting for the weekday to start each week. So why is it that when I make a calendar, it's wrong? Maybe it only applies to module level stuff? I guess. Let's see if that has a purpose later on. Oh, there's print month. There's a whole bunch of other stuff at the module level without having to create an object. So that's why it doesn't do anything when I create a new calendar. Calendar dot week header. I don't know. N specifies the width and characters for one weekday. 10? Alright. Cool. It had to abbreviate it slightly. So if there's enough room, it uses the full name, and if not, it abbreviates. That's cool. Calendar.leapdays. Year 1, year 2 returns the number of leap years in the range from year 1 to year 2 exclusive, where year 1 and year 2 are years. This function works for ranges spanning a century change. That's cool. How many leap days are there between 1998 and 2002? There should be 1, I think. 1, indeed. How about 2003? Also 1. How about 2004? Because it's exclusive. 5 should be 2. It's 2. Neat. Useful for some things, okay? I mean, I'm not going to argue. Let's find out if 2016 is a leap year. It is. What a surprise. It's every 4 years, and 2000 was a leap year. So 2000, 2004, 8, 12, 16. That's how it works. Weekday returns the day of the week. Calendar.weekday. 2016 7/10, and this should be Sunday 6, which is Sunday. Week header. I think we already did that. Yeah. Month range returns weekday of first day of the month and number of days in month for the specified year and month. Let's just call it and see what it does. Month range 2016 7 4. The first weekday of the month is 4. The weekday of the first day of the month. And that would be 0 is Monday, 1 is Tuesday, 2 is Wednesday, 3 is Thursday, and 4 is Friday. And July 1st was a Friday, so that's why it's 4. Fantastic. And the number of days in the month is 31. So there we go. Month calendar. I'm just going to call it. Okay then. Very neat. Each row represents a week. Days outside of the month are represented by zeros. Print a month's calendar, return a month's calendar in a multi-line string. Oh, for this is, we can use the basically format month of text calendar is calendar.month. From earlier we did of text calendar, is it? The text calendar class. Yes. when we did, there's a month and a PR month. And what month does is the same thing as our text calendar format month. And it looks like it is in fact exactly what that does. And notice how this is Friday and Saturday, meaning that it's actually using Sunday as the first day as we specified. But that's only module level stuff. If we create our own object, it will not apply unless we specify it again. Calendar dot print month 2016 7, and there we have it. It printed it. I could take out the PR and I could wrap it in a print, and it would do the exact same thing. I don't really know why there are so many separate methods, but there are. There's a calendar and a PR cal, and calendar returns a three-column calendar for an entire year as a multi-line string. This is the same as the text calendar object with format year. And there's a PR cal that does PR year to print year, right? PR year. It does the same thing, but on a module level instead of creating an object. An unrelated but handy function. There's and why is there a new line and then a space and then not a new line? Hang on 1 second. Why is there a space here? And equals nothing. Let's print that. And let's not print it. I just want the repro. So we have spaces, 31, and then a new line. How about this stuff? Why is there a space sometimes? A space, I don't know. We call it and then we print it with an extra new line, and it adds an extra new line and space. Line, spots, line, spots. We have a new line character over here, and we have a space character over there. We have a new line character over here, and because we did print, which has a default end of a new line, we have another new line here, and then nothing over there. It just starts out. So why is there a new line and then a space? Because here we can see that it's doing 31 and then a new line. So I don't know exactly what the PR methods do that adds a space at the end. Kind of odd. And of course, since it's directly printing, I can't really find out why it's doing that. Anyway, so there's a calendar.timegm with a tuple that takes a tuple as returned by. Do I have time in here? I do not. Import time. Time.gm time. A struct time object. Now I'm gonna have to. I'm at the very end of the PowerShell Windows scrolling capability, so I'm going to be clearing the screen. I'm just gonna do that now. I'm gonna do it all fancy. Do I have OS? I do. I was gonna do it fancier, but I'll just use OS. OS.system CLS. That's the command to clear the screen for Windows. Clear screen CLS. S, and we get a clear screen. And now I can scroll. And that function returns 0, so that's why it cleared the screen and then returned a 0 directly to the interpreter, which displayed it to standard out. Here we are. Calendar.timeGM, so this takes a time tuple, such as returned by the gmTime function in the time module. Time.gmTime, and returns a timestamp. So that's great. So the documentation says about this, the first thing it starts with, an unrelated but handy function. Do you know what's, if I wanted unrelated but handy functions, I would be using PHP. Do you know how many built-in functions PHP has? No? Neither do I. Neither does anyone else. Because there are a bunch of ways to sort of determine it. Like you can check the length of the built-in thing in the namespace, or you can look in various lists online, and the values vary by a few hundred, but it's generally somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000. Because they decided to put unrelated but handy functions in there, which is how PHP started. It was just, I think his name, Rasmus Lerdorf, was writing a bunch of handy little functions in C, and just kept, writing them and putting them in a little bag of handy things, and made a language out of it. A whole bunch of useful things it can do. So that's what PHP is. It's a bunch of handy functions. Unrelated but handy function. That's PHP. I don't know why this method is in here. If it's unrelated, why is it there? But it's handy. I don't care. Put it in the proper module, like time, for example. Because it takes a time tuple such as returned by the this. It takes one of these. It takes a time object. So why not have this thing that requires some kind of time object, a time tuple? Why not put this function into the time module, right? An unrelated but handy function. That's a bad sign. Calendar.dayname. An underscore. Finally, this is called snake case, and ironically, Python uses snake case because it looks like a snake. Because the Python programming language is not named after the reptile. It's named after Monty Python. Localized day object is not callable. Okay. Oh, it's not a method. Oh, the calendar module exports the following data attributes. That's my mistake. What is that? Does it have a string method? It doesn't. Oh, an array. Are you kidding me? It's a calendar._localized day object. And that means it's kinda supposed to be hidden, an implementation detail. Maybe I shouldn't be using it. And there's day_ABBR abbreviation, an array that represents the abbreviated days of the week in the current locale. And there's another array and another array, a month name and month abbreviation. I'm not going to try those out, because arrays. There is technically an array class. That is the first time I have ever imported it in my life. It's a thing. I don't know. Wow. There's a lot over there. Goodness gracious me. Return a new array whose items are restricted by type code and initialized from the optional initializer value. Signed integer, unsigned integer odes for C types. So that's something I don't think I will use. It has all manner of in the Python help interface like this, you can press enter to get the next line, or you can press space to get a whole bunch of lines, or you can press Q, I believe, to stop getting all that stuff. It was only on B. It was only on B because there's a lot. Goodness gracious. All right. I scrolled to the bottom of the documentation page on calendar. That's all there is. So there you have it. You can get days of the week, month, and year. You can output string representations, or immediately print them with an extra space at the end. I don't know why it does that at all. Why it ends with a space. Incomprehensible. But you can create a text representation of a calendar. You can encode it with HTML stuff. You can make an HTML page, so that was cool. We saw that. And you can check leap years. And what else? That's mostly it. And you can wonder why there are so many method names that start with iter. Probably because, history. And why there are so many methods. This could have been like the calendar class could have had, instead of iter weekdays, iter month dates 2, iter month dates calendar, month days 2 calendar, year dates calendar, year days calendar, year days 2 calendar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 methods. I'm the Count from Sesame Street. That's me. Instead of all these, there could have been like 2 or 3, maybe. One for iter weekdays, and it would be called just weekdays, I think. Iter month dates 2. Yeah, iter month dates, iter month days, and iter month days 2 could have been something shorter. Days? I don't know. Or month days, maybe? And then you could say whether you want the day number, or datetime.date objects, or tuples of day number and weekday number. That should just be a thing that you specify. And same for month and year, days and days 2, and dates, calendar. That should just be calendar. And you would specify whether you want a year, and if you only include a year, then it gives you the year stuff. And if you also include a month, then it gives you the month versions. And then you specify whether you want the days, the day tuples, or dates. I don't see why there are 6 methods for this, where there could have been 1. Probably historical reasons. Historical reasons are they are a thing. think that is it for the calendar module. So I don't know exactly what else there'll be. Maybe collections? Heap queue, a heap queue algorithm, an array bisection algorithm, array, weak ref, I don't know what this stuff is. Data types. Copy could be good. pprint, that's going to be an excellent one. enum, why would we want that? Alternate repro implementation. There's some cool and handy stuff, and there's some strange stuff, and I will choose a module to go through day after tomorrow. But tomorrow will be a game of some kind. I don't know which, but it's going to be something. If I had to guess, probably League of Legends. But if I'm feeling up to it, maybe more Shantae Risky's Revenge Director's Cut. And I'll try to, go into the boss dungeon and not accidentally walk right back out like I did last time. Went and explored and jumped on platforms, and then I went through a door and I was outside. So yeah, that will be tomorrow. Something. A game will be tomorrow, is what I'm saying. Not necessarily which one. That is arbitrary, not guaranteed. like the ordering of dictionaries is arbitrary. It's funny because most dictionaries, like actual, piece of paper dictionary, are ordered alphabetically. So, but most people don't look through them alphabetically. So there's something that's actually kind of strange. We have actual dictionaries are ordered, but we don't go through them in an ordered manner, while Python dictionaries are arbitrarily ordered, but we often want to go through them in an ordered manner. Interesting. But anyway, there's the calendar module. Has some handy stuff. If you want your program of some kind to make a calendar or do something calendar-esque, here you are. Just try to keep in mind that there are lots of similar methods and convenience functions that don't seem like they really add anything. But there's that, and tomorrow there will be a game. So thank you for joining me in chat, Leo Phoenix and Gabe Arthur. Sorry I wasn't coding a specific program to do stuff, just exploring a module. But maybe at some point when I think of something to write, we will write it. But until then, thanks for watching, and have a good one.